Today, I will be demonstrating how to use oil pastels. You might have also heard them be called crayons. Oil pastels are much like crayons. The difference is that crayons are made with wax and pastels are made with oils. You'll find that pastels create a thicker, more vibrant color on your art that almost resembles paint, as you can see from these examples. The first technique I'm going to show you is blending a color with white. I'm using red. I know that red and white will make a pink. Since I have a pink in my collection of pastels anyway, I actually blend pink in with my red first. Next, I'll use the white pastel. Sometimes you may need to wipe off your pastel on scrap paper to clean it off a bit. It may have residue from other colors, and that might not be what you want on your blend. Then I'll layer the white over the pink. Notice how I use the actual pastel as a blender. I'll layer the pastel over one another to mix the colors and create a smooth blend. Now I'll blend a color with black to make a shade. You may want to spend some time experimenting with these techniques in your sketchbook or on a piece of paper. I have the colors next to each other, and now I'll take one of the colors and just overlap and blend until it's nice and smooth. You can use your finger to blend the colors together as well, but that can get a little messy. I like to use a folded up piece of paper towel to rub over the colors. This next technique is called stippling. Stippling is basically making tiny dots with your pastels. This creates a texture. Texture is one of our elements of art. Texture is the way something feels or appears to feel. The repetition of these dots give the illusion of a texture. Stippling with more than one color helps build this texture illusion. So I'm experimenting with colors that sit around purple on the color wheel. More stippling, but this time I'm going to try with warm colors. This next technique is called scumbling. It's like quick scribbles. It's quite expressive. I layered scumbling different colors, always keeping in mind my color wheel, so that if the colors mix during my scumbling, they blend well. On to a technique called Sgraffito. Sgraffito is building a heavy layer and then using a tool to scratch into it. This pencil with a used up eraser makes a good tool to scratch into my heavy blend. I'm using the metal part of the pencil. Another tool you might consider using is the end of a pair of scissors or even a paper clip. Oh, here's another trick with Sgraffito. Start with a solid color, then go over it with a darker color. Then take your tool and scratch into it to reveal the color behind. Experiment and play with these oil pastels. They're one of my favorite art materials in our studio. Check out this drawing I did using all of these oil pastel techniques. I encourage you to try out the oil pastels and experiment with some of these techniques. Happy art making!